Action.
All right, we're talking
Heretic, Hugh Grant movie.
Hugh Grant. I think this is the first one he does a heel turn for. He's
usually not a lead either in most of his movies. I can't think of the last
only
movie.
like romantic leads.
Right.
And then otherwise
Right.
he's like the douche in the romantic.
Yeah, he's like an antagonist or
Right,
some
but he's
shit.
never like I'm a straight up cut your fingers off.
Yeah, that's what I thought was a little weird because like the movie starts and he's just trying to like religiously explain like how everything they think is bullshit, and then it just like they set up this like intelligent premise, and then like the payoff is just like he's just like a weirdo. He's just like kind of a psychopath. You know what I mean?
It was
like I liked the fact that he was like trying to be like, okay, I see where you're coming from, but like let me tell you why you're wrong.
See, that's why I told you the end got weird. I feel like this would have been.
I don't think it got weird. It just got different. You know what I mean? It didn't get weird. Like it could have gotten weirder. You know what I mean? Like we'll get there, but it could have gotten way weirder with what they were setting up. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but it just like I guess you're right. To me, it was weird, but maybe not weird enough.
I hated the girl, not the dark hair girl, not girl. Barnes, Paxton.
Yeah,
terrible actress.
I feel like that was supposed to be the like real.
She's like kind of ditzy,
flighty, and you know what I mean.
She was bad,
so it came across also. Though,
maybe she was too good then.
That's what I'm.
Maybe she was too good at playing like I hate you.
That's why that whole opening scene on the park bench. I feel like they're giving you like.
Were they talking about porn, and she's like, the pornography film. Like I don't watch that. I don't watch the pornography.
It was a weird setup to the movie too.
Yeah,
like, we didn't even need that. It could have started with like.
Them knocking on the door, going door to door, Jehovah Witnesses, you know what I mean? Like, going door to door.
Yeah.
And, like, they go to one house, and it's Hugh Grant's house, and he's like, come on in, you know? And they're like, a woman has to be present. Where's your wife? My wife's in the kitchen. He has, like, a mug, and it's, like, best husband.
That's what, like, it's really fun. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I was drawn in. Like, I told you.
It was very captivating for the first 30 minutes.
It was.
Yes.
Like, the first 5 minutes are weird.
Yeah, very weird. She
like,
gets pantsed in public by, like, TikTokers in Boulder, Colorado. Like, what? It's just, why? Why is that scene in the movie?
Yeah, see what I mean?
Like, the whole movie is like, well, we really only had, like, 30, 45 minutes of a premise.
That's what I was going to say.
We stretched it to 2 hours.
This would have been an amazing short
film. Or, like, a short series, like a special on like some television, you know.
See, I thought, and we'll get into a little spoiler here.
Yeah.
I thought the wheels come off once they get to the basement.
Once they get to the basement, once they get to the doors.
Because that's awesome. That should have been a short film where they pick the door, and at the end he's gonna kill you anyway, because that was clearly.
Yeah, but like the movie sets up like these 2 doors, and it's like the only way you can leave his house is through like the back doors, and like obviously there's like a bunch of shit that happens before that, but like I don't really want to spoil like how good the beginning scenes are. Very good. Because he kills it. Because it makes you feel like I'm uncomfortable.
That's what he takes these religious girls' premise and makes them uncomfortable based on his knowledge alone, but like in the creepiest.
He like debunks their religion. He's like, what I'm going to tell you will make you want to die.
I plan on killing you, but before you die, I'm going to take away your belief too, so you feel like it's even worse. Which is like super
creepy, way crazy, way more creepy than like when they actually get to the basement. Like I thought they were both going to take the 2 doors, like separate doors, which they are doing. Until she's like, you still believe in God, right? Then we should go through this door. And it's like, well, both doors lead to the same spot.
Same place. Because he was going to kill him.
Because he was going to kill him anyway. Right, but it's like you can't set up like such an intelligent like beginning and then just be like, he's just going to kill him.
That's why I say it gets weird because when
it gets bad. It just gets bad.
Well, like in a weird way though, because now he's like doing these like this whole weird
experiment,
magic pretend experiment, but it's not because he has like 50 women all dressed the same in a cage, starving them to death. See what I mean?
He's trying to like build up their faith by being like, this miracle is going to happen, and I'm pretending to document what you think is going to happen with this miracle. So but he's really just torturing like these 2 women. Like
he breaks down the religion and builds it back up, and then plans to kill them.
Right.
Like what a weird.
Right. And then like somewhere down the line, AI and simulation theory gets like thrown into the mix. Like he finds an IUD or like the contraceptive in like the girl's arm and is like, she's a robot. You see? She's a robot. A weird
tangent, and then
what the fuck?
And then the actress she plays a really bad actress. And then all of a sudden, she snaps into the most intelligent, coherent person. She's like, I know all about a simulation theory.
She's
impossible.
She turns into Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock. The key was left at the front of the door, signed by a match that is on the left side of the bookcase.
Yeah, everything's it's really weird.
Yeah.
And then she's like, that's how I know you're lying. He's like, you caught me. And then they just move past that part. Like, why didn't we just do a 2-minute simulation theory?
Simulation theory. Where the fuck did that come from? So religious explanation, debunking your religion. I got to find the one true God. We do a bit about creep. We do a bit about Monopoly.
Yeah.
We're at the doors.
We're at the doors. That's what we're saying. Like, so we talked about them. They, like you said, they had to pick a door.
Right.
The one convinces the other friend. The good actress convinces the terrible
bad
actress.
Yeah, to
Which
go
it's
through
like
the
you
door.
felt like you knew it was going to happen to the one actress too. You're like, oh, that's the one that was suspicious from the jump.
Yeah, from the start. Who's like, you weren't born into the church. Like, no, we converted. We were looking at a bunch of churches. Like, oh, okay, so you're like the heretic or whatever, you know?
Right.
Like, yeah. So there's doors. One says belief. One says disbelief. Bad actress goes to the disbelief door, and then dark hair actress goes, we gotta stick to our beliefs. Because like he's like, it doesn't matter what we choose right now. What is important is that we stick to what we think we believe. So then they go down the doors.
Yeah, it gets real mind bendy.
I didn't know it was just gonna be creepy basement.
I had a feeling.
Well, I thought it was gonna be more than just creepy basement, but they get down there and it's just one room. I'm like, oh, maybe they're gonna go down the separate doors and they're gonna go through like maybe like religious trials or
because there's a scene when they go down into the basement, like he's sitting at like a table.
Right.
And he has basically got his whole creepy compound modeled.
Yes.
Because there's this really cool shot later in the movie where they're trying to escape and they're running. And the camera does this like round pan and it goes straight up. And then it's like they're in a real.
Yeah, it's awesome. But it does nothing. It's used for nothing. Like there's these miniatures he's constantly building.
And that's the whole scene that they were used for.
But it doesn't do anything.
I mean, there was a lot of like weird
yeah.
things laid out that we don't get any kind of anything for.
Right.
That's why I don't like the end. The end, like that's what we were talking about earlier. The end goes, he does this weird bit to do, I'm going to show a miracle. I'm going to have this lady eat, we kept calling her the prophet.
The prophet.
The prophet's going to eat this poison blueberry pie, and then she's going to come back to life because I know the secret. But I'm not going to tell you the secret. I'm going to prove that.
But there is a secret.
But I'm going to prove it.
Right. And then document your experience.
Yeah, hear what you have to say.
Right. So then lady eats pie.
Drops dead.
And dies. Literally just dies.
And then there's a distraction event.
Topher Grace, the one and only Eddie Brock,
which I didn't even realize.
Eric fucking Foreman comes a knocking.
Well, because they show him earlier going like, have you seen the girls? The girls haven't checked in. Have you seen the girls?
And I didn't know it was him.
I did not know.
You didn't know at all.
I did not.
I caught it on the last time he shows up in the movie. He's in it for 4 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's
not at all.
Like, he doesn't do
They set up this plot of like the priest or pastor of their church is like going out to find them.
Yeah, like you think.
Because they're the only ones who haven't come back and like checked in.
Right.
You know?
You almost think like they're painting this dude to be the hero. Like he's going to find them.
Which makes me think there was some things that got cut. Because you don't cast an actor of like, let's say that caliber to just be like a throwaway character.
To get 6 lines?
To get 6 lines, maybe 4.
It was weird.
Yeah. So Topher Grace shows up and he's like, hey, I'm looking for these girls because I have a list of the addresses that houses they should be going to recruit people.
Yeah, they do this like quick montage where he's like knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Like, no.
He knocks on one person's door.
It's a mini montage.
Yeah, and they're like, no, they haven't been by. Okay. And then he runs off and he goes on Hugh Grant's door and Hugh Grant is like, comes out from the basement and is like, oh, I gotta check. And it's set up that the front door can't open.
That's what he tells the girls.
That's what he tells the girls.
Through the front, you have to go through the back.
They're like, you realize how that's a bit unusual, right? He's like, no, I get it. Like Hugh Grant playing, like, I'm not going to murder you. Like nothing wrong is happening, I promise.
Yeah, he's
just go into my basement.
Just go in the basement.
That's the only way if you want to leave. You got to go down. My house is on a hill. You got to go down to go out.
Yeah, you saw it. You were out there. But like she says, like I've been thinking you've been trying to make us kill ourselves.
Right.
And that's basically what he was doing.
Right.
Like the entire time.
He didn't want them to, but he had to get them to get there themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Topher Grace comes a knocking. He's like, have you seen the girls? Hugh Grant is basically like, no. And then Topher Grace just leaves. Yeah. And then Hugh Grant goes back down into the basement. And what happens?
They do this really weird, like, Topher Grayson stops. Now that I know that's Topher Grace, stops, and then he like.
Well, it's not even. I know what you're about to say. He leaves and then comes back.
That's what I say, but he does this weird pause, like I got to go back to that house.
He completely leaves.
Yeah.
Completely leaves the first time. They do more stuff in the basement. Hugh Grant goes and does more stuff in the basement. Then there's a knock again, and it's Topher Grace going like, just one more thing.
And you're like, oh.
He's gonna find, maybe it's the bikes. Maybe it's the bikes that we didn't see that Hugh Grant hid, which apparently he did.
We get this montage at yes. He did it quickly, by the way.
Very quickly,
Super
very
quick.
fast. Yeah, lightning, he's the Flash in this universe, apparently. But Topher Grace comes back and goes, there's just one more thing. Do you have this booklet? And it's like the religious booklet for the Church of Latter-day Saints or whatever.
Like,
and it's
boom, boom.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
Why are we doing a bit in the middle of this horror movie?
Yeah, see, they played it like, because the first time he's at the door, Hugh Grant is overly friendly weird still. He's like, why don't you come in? We can talk about it and we can plan it inside. Come on in.
And you think he's just going to murder him.
He's like, I'm just going to kill him when he
right.
comes inside.
Nope.
So you think the guy's like, he really wanted me in there weirdly. So here's
Topher Grace just leaves.
Okay.
And he comes back. Oh, you don't? Here you go. Bye.
That's it.
Not even like,
That's it.
Are you sure you haven't? Can I go look around maybe? Like, nope. And then he's gone
That's it.
for the rest
That's
of the movie. Why was Topher Grace in this freaking movie, dude? My thought was, flash forward, flash forward, flash forward. The dark hair chick dies. Spoilers, I guess. But this movie was kind of dog shit, so I really don't
the
care.
Hugh Grant character basically gets fed up that they're out. They are like out logically him on everything that he has. They're like super smart and able.
Well,
to
they introduced that like Hugh Grant had a plan. They think one of the girls went off book from what his plan was, and that he's now just improvising. Mm-hmm. So like they're talking. They had to plan to murder Hugh Grant if they have this code word. Dark-haired chick is about to say it, and then Hugh Grant like slits her throat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then she just like drops dead. And that's the end of that chick until he rips out her contraceptive, like, birth control thing in her fucking arm or whatever and goes, she's a robot. You see? She wasn't real.
Yeah, now the wheels are off.
And if you kill yourself, you won't die. You'll just go to the real world.
Just trust me, do it.
Simulation theory.
Yeah.
What? Why? Because the director had commentary about
That's
AI?
what it felt like.
Like, he got too meta with it. Because he's like, he has the girl call out Hugh Grant for just improvising while improvising his ending. I'm like, you did not have an ending. You did not have an ending for this movie.
No, because after that, you have that whole, like, she
Sherlock
tries
Holmes.
to escape.
Yeah.
After she breaks it down and is like, I'm not dumb, you're not tricking me. I know what you've planned the entire. I'm
Right.
super smart.
Yeah, I'm
I've
intelligent
tricked
now.
You.
Even though I didn't know how to say the
it's
word
so-
pornography.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
From the beginning of the movie to the end, she's Sherlock Holmes, and you're not kidding. So they do this whole ridiculous thing where you think she's going to escape. You know.
There's a basement
Like
under
a
the
sub-basement.
Fuck off.
It's a video game right now.
Fuck off,
We're playing
man.
a video
I
game.
hate that shit. Like,
She just so happened earlier in the movie to get the bicycle key that they saw. Because,
well, he left it there on
Right.
purpose, so she could unlock the final door.
That's what I mean. See what I'm saying? If you're
to the
watching,
final
like,
part of the basement. She goes, you want me to be exactly here. You want me to be here.
yeah,
I didn't choose to be
more
here.
Rain Man on him.
And then just stabs him in the neck. And just fucking stabs him.
It gets real weird.
It gets
because
weird.
There's like all these women that look exactly like the prophet, just dozens of them in cages.
Yeah.
And he's like filing one's nails, and then he cuts her finger off, and it's
There's like sprinkler systems so they can get hydrated or whatever.
it's really weird.
Yeah, so she stabs him in the neck, runs off, can't get out of the
Can't
basement.
get out. Can't
And
get out of
then
the house. Like everything's
Can't get out of the house,
Yeah.
can't get out of the basement. Hugh Grant somehow is still alive.
Even though he took it
to the jugular.
like jugular and up. Like blood was.
Right. But he makes it, he climbs.
He follows her.
He follows her out of the basement to like the first level of the basement and then stabs her in the chest, in like the stomach.
and then lays with her.
Yeah.
And right before, and then he goes to finish.
And he's
her.
like going to finish her off. And then dark-haired chick wakes up, even though she had her vein pulled out of her arm
And
her throat slit. Miracles, right?
That's what they. Yeah.
Right? Maybe?
Yep.
And then bashes Hugh Grant over the head.
And then dies again.
Right. And I sped through that because wouldn't it not have been better if Topher Grace is in this movie, he shows up looking for the girls, leaves, does a bit, leaves again, maybe because he's onto him, but he doesn't want to lead him on that he is onto him, comes back, finds a way into the basement, maybe crashes through that skylight or some shit, and like knocks Hugh Grant over the head.
That'd have been better.
And
than
then he
what we
helps
got.
the girl out, and then she dies in his arms.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that would have been so much better, wouldn't it?
It felt so forced and rushed.
Felt so forced.
And like, why?
This guy did not have an ending for this movie. Not at all.
I agree.
Like,
I like the movie overall only because of the beginning, and I thought Hugh Grant.
The beginning carries.
Was amazing.
Hugh Grant carries until he doesn't. Until he just turns into like a weird murderer.
Until like the script was like,
right.
Oh, you just go now. There's no more pages.
Like, I wasted all my intelligence and writer's creativity on the beginning of this movie that I'm tapped. By the end, he's tapped. The writer is
like,
tapped.
It felt like a short film. When you get to the doors and he's like, you got to pick a door based on your belief, felt like the end of the movie.
Yep.
Because it's like, then you could have just not shown
what's under there. Because they don't show you what's under there. She goes, like when she's looking,
hallway.
And it's a basement. It's a staircase going to a basement. I'm like, what?
Yeah, the end, and I'm like, I'm shocked that this is in the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes.
Because it feigns intelligence. And people are like, well, I can't hate it because then I'll seem stupid.
The audience score is a little lower. It's in the 70s.
Okay, see, because audience score knows. Because they're not afraid to be like, no, that was pretentious and shitty.
It was pretentious. I still think Hugh's performance makes this watchable.
God, he's so creepy. God, Hugh Grant's so fucking creepy, man.
I'm pulling up. JJ is on assignment. He could not be here.
JJ wrote in. I'll do like a little puppet so I can auto-track.
JJ, let's get to scores. We'll come back around because JJ gave me scores and little notes here.
Little review. Mm-hmm. Can I do first half, second half?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
first
we'll
half.
Average it out.
First half, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Easily 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Second half, 3, 4.
So overall, like a 5.
Like a 5.
Okay.
Yeah. The ending sucked. Last 45 minutes of this movie was terrible. Like. Walk out when they get to the doors.
Cartman, you're like,
it's terrible. It's fucking awful. Last half of this movie, it's fucking bad. Shouldn't watch it. It's really horrible. If you go see this movie, leave when they get to the doors. Because everything they introduce after that, it will not be payoff for what they've introduced.
Yeah.
Like, and way to ruin Radiohead's Creep for me, Hugh Grant. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I liked those breakdown of the scenes, like how nothing is original, like
iterations.
He does this, like he
brings out the electronic banking monopoly and compares it to the Book of Mormon. I'm like, that's funny as fuck,
it's
man.
Awesome.
That's funny.
I was like into the movie. Like, this is great. And then it's like,
but people are laughing in the theater. People are laughing at that scene. And I'm like, I don't think this is supposed to be getting laughs, but it's really fucking funny.
It's funny like an ironic way.
Right.
You're not supposed to necessarily chuckle. You're supposed to be like, oh, okay, I see.
Oh, he's kind of right. He's a little right. Yeah. But yeah, first half, 7 out of 10. Easily. A great movie. But
the first half
you creatively bankrupted yourself, like writing that first 45 minutes. You can't end this movie.
Yeah, and there's too much, like we talk about in other movies where a lot of movies spend time building a world instead of focusing. This one, they dropped just enough nuggets that make you
And we get to Hugh Grant's house pretty quick.
That's what I mean.
It's
like
maybe
it's like
5
this
minutes.
Ridiculous maze of crazy, terrible, elaborate death things, and we get like one quick basement.
Right.
And then
And that's it.
And like a lot of previews of what could have been. Do you know what I mean? Like this is like they went the opposite way with this.
Yeah.
They gave us just a little bit of world stuff and then wiped out the character.
Like I wanted like a cool maze or like cool like religious trials or no, it's a basement.
Once we get there and it's just like that's all you
get. It's just a creepy basement, creepy drippy basement, really wet basement.
He went through a lot of stuff to just kill him in the basement. That's what I mean. Like why would this guy spend so much?
Because the one true religion is control. I almost threw up in my mouth when he said that. I'm like vomit. Just what a terrible payoff. What's your score?
I'm gonna give it. You've made me come down even a little more because the back end is not good.
It's terrible.
I'm gonna because
it's laughably bad.
Hugh Grant deserves you going to see the movie because he kills it. He's so good in the role.
Hugh Grant is great.
Just creepy, but like, is he creepy or British? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like that's about they were.
He's way too convincing of like I'm not gonna murder. I just want to break down.
Like he's stabbing you. Like I'm not stabbing.
No.
You. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna give it a 5 also.
Yes.
Okay. I would. It's worth watching.
The beginning, man, when he's like, you believed so hard that there was a woman in the other room, and you wanted to believe so hard that there was another. You actually thought it was true. Like how fucking stupid are you?
He starts proving. I know.
Like,
that's what I mean. It's so good.
Yeah.
It sucked me right in, and then I'm like, where did you take me? I went to the basement. Like,
I went to my emotional basement.
JJ gave it a
9 out of 10.
A 7 out of 10.
Okay. See,
He said
he's talking about the first 45 minutes.
he
though.
said solid, but got very weird.
Okay.
That was his words too.
Yeah. I would just say bad. It just got really bad.
Well, like, it is bad, but it got bad because it got weird, though. Like, they just said, let's try 11 concepts at the same time. Why?
I would have been fine if the ending was just like, Satan. There's some like demonic shit. Like maybe Hugh Grant's
Instead of like
possessed.
trailing off and doing all the weird like women in cages and AI simulation, if they would have stuck to the like he thinks he's God.
Yes, because that's kind of what they're setting up.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the lady doesn't come back to life because duh. You know what I mean?
Except one of them does.
But like if he does that and then like he goes to then he kills the one girl and he's like, wait, she's gonna come back to life. And then she doesn't. And when he comes back down to finish off the other girl, then she stabs him. Then it would, you know what I mean?
We don't need a sub level.
I don't need what the
We don't
hell?
need a simulation theory.
No.
Hey, I just killed your best friend. Now let me sit you down at a table and explain to you why AI is gonna take over. I'd be like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Like the second Barnes got her throat slit, it should have been she stabs Hugh Grant.
Right then,
right then,
because he's not even looking.
Then, right then.
He's like, stab. Oh, now he's stabbed. And now, yeah, your friend's dead, but so is he, and you get to live.
Not like, let me sit you down and lecture you some more. No, you just murdered my friend.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay.
You just murdered my friend. Yeah. What? 7 out of 10? That's awfully high, JJ. That's awfully
Yeah, I agree
high.
with you though. If it would have stuck the landing from the first half of the movie, it'd have been in like 8 territory.
This movie should have been an hour 20. It's an hour 50.
Yeah.
No.
It's too long.
It spins its wheels for 35
We didn't need
minutes.
the
Like,
beginning of just like
where they're talking about
we're gonna make you
condoms.
these characters like endearing, I guess. Like they're dumb, innocent,
Religious girls.
religious girls, I guess was the point of that, kinda.
Yeah.
But they try to throw you off so hard that the blonde one is the dumbest one in the world until she's not, and then she's
Mr. Reed.
Then she's Iron Man solving time travel in the Avengers movie, and you're like, what just happened? Yeah, Mr. Reed, that joke, you know, get it, Mr. Reed?
Can we talk about him going, great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man, Voltaire. Like, no, it's actually this poet or whatever.
Yeah.
This actual, like, intelligent man. We didn't set up that she likes comic books, that she's a superhero fan.
No, they're trying to.
Yet she references Swamp Thing.
Yeah, later.
Swamp Thing?
I'm telling you, they were doing.
What are you talking about?
They were endearing you to the character. She's sweet.
She likes- she's a
comic
nerd.
books.
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
She's gonna figure it out because she's the smart one.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I was like, that's fun for me to go like, you know,
Oh.
turn to the girl, I'm going to go, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're Peter Griffin. You're like, eh.
he said this thing, said the thing. I'm like, Hugh Grant would make a great Uncle Ben if he wasn't British, but I'm just saying.
I'm British Uncle Ben.
British Uncle Ben. Uncle Benjamin. But yeah, I thought that was a weird like
was weird.
subplot. Like
It was weird.
Swamp Thing? Swamp Thing doesn't have a great power comes great responsibility level of a line.
No.
And if he does, no one knows what the
That's
fuck it
Swamp
is.
Thing?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I apologize for not knowing Swamp Thing
My bad.
lines. What? Since when are you referencing Swamp Thing?
that's-
When have I talk about comic books every fucking day. I
not
never
mine.
talk about Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, we're done. Fucking don't go see this movie. If you do, wait till it drops on streaming.
Watch it for Hugh Grant.
Watch it for Hugh Grant. For you, Hugh. Do it for Hugh.
Try not to picture him as an Oompa Loompa, because you will. Some of his lines, you said what I was talking about, right? Some of the lines are like, oh,
Ooh.
Nelly would. And you're like, he needs his chocolate, and then he'll let you guys go.
God damn it. God damn, this movie sucked. What a letdown.
Oh, perfect.
People don't know how to cut trailers. Whatever company is cutting trailers for Hollywood right now is terrible.
They're bad.
Transformers 1.
Oh my God.
If a movie has 1 in the name, the trailer is gonna be bad.
Okay, so this movie,
I've been waiting a long time for this movie.
so